I think the lecture is already started recording. So those who are connected online can confirm us. I think it's being recorded now. So it's recorded.
Yes, sir.
We have great. It's a small class that we are having today. Maybe due to these deadlines, work commitments, maybe anyway, we are continuing. Let's in the first half, let's try to complete this topic that is on process selection. Is an important area of operations management. I don't know whether you have studied the content related to process selection, but as you can see here, these are the main things that we are going to cover in the first half of the lecture today. To identify what we mean by process selection in operations management and the strategic importance of this decision for businesses of different nature. And then identify what are the different processing types available for manufacturing organizations. And then, of course, for service organizations, that's the last part. Then we should know, right? Part of it, we should know the main characteristics of each process type, advantages and disadvantages of each. Then, of course, in which type of operations conditions, market conditions, what type of processes should be used. So the link between process types and the market requirements, right? Kind of understanding you will have. That is what we are going to do. This decision, process selection decision, may affect on other operations management decisions also. So understanding this in a clear and accurate manner is important. That is what we are going to do in the first part of it. Are we ready? There's no issue if you don't have the hard copy of it. That is, if you can refer to the soft copy and then write down the additional points, including example, be better. Let's keep them there on the screen, otherwise we don't know whether they are there. Right, right. Coming to this area of operations management, processor, and this particular topic is on process selection. Now, in our subject, operations management. Although you are not going to specialize in operations management, we in operations management consider processes as very important, extremely important in operating. Sometimes it's very difficult to separate operations and processes. So in operations management, what we manage is processes. Processes are that important in operations management and of course in business. Process. Have you engaged in process? What do you think? What are processes? Yes, that's how technically we can look at something called process. It involves some steps. Maybe in operations, businesses in manufacturing basically, it involves in some steps to convert inputs into outputs that you usually process. In that sense, do we see processes only in manufacturing? Can we see processes in service operations? What's the thing? In general, we can say, and even in day-to-day life, we involve in processes, right? So, kind of step-by-step sequential set of activities from a starting point to the end. Right? So, at the end of that, we get something as the output. So, any such thing we can consider as a process. So, on day-to-day basis, we involve in process. Even to make a cup of tea, we follow a set of steps. We follow a process. To wash a garment, right? We follow step by step a series of activities. That itself is a process. So likewise, not only in day-to-day life, in businesses, in managing businesses, what we manage this process. So in operations management, we talk about manufacturing processes and service creation and delivery processes, which are used in producing outputs, producing products or producing services. In that, there are a lot of decisions that managers should make about their process. One already we identified, that is called process designing, or what we call process engineering. That's a process decision. What is it? Process design or process engineering that we identified. Well, a manufacturing firm, when they design the product with unique features, characteristics, and all as we discussed, they should also identify a process through which the same product can be manufactured. The technological process, step by step, as to how we are going to manufacture the product. That decision is called an engineering process. So it's a process decision. That is different from process selection that we are going to discuss today. Process selection is something different, and we consider it strategic in nature. Now, most of the time, process decisions are technology decisions in operations management, because all these production processes, service creation and delivery processes are more or less technology. There's a technology behind each and every production process. The garment industries, how the fabrication, how fabric manufacturing processes, and then how the garments manufacturing processes are designed. That's a technology. So as in furniture manufacturing, how different parts are manufactured, how things are assembled, different. In ice cream manufacturing, there's a food processing technology behind. Glass manufacturing, cement manufacturing, there's a technology behind. Car assembly, automobile technology. So likewise, processes involving technology. So process selection is partly a technology selection decision. In addition to that, as we can see here, identifying how the processes are arranged, not process design. How processes are arranged, the way in which processes are organized. That you can see here. It's partly technological decisions and partly a management decision that affect on various other operations. That's it. The area we are going to cover today, process selection is considered as a strategic decision in operations. So we are not going to touch anything or discuss anything there, but only one side of it will be covered in detail. That is, what type of processes should be used, not the technology side of it, but the management side of it. What type of processes should be used? This decision is important. This decision is important Every time when a new process is going to be established, produce a new product. So in that sense, this decision is not made often, every month, every week, so every year even. It's a kind of infrequent decision. Okay. When a new process going to be established for a new product or for a new service, this decision is applicable. That is one situation. It is applicable when a new product or services are being planned. In addition to that, any changes, any periodical changes required to the processes, maybe when the market demand is gradually increasing, we want to increase the production. After few years time, we see the demand of product is gradually increasing, so the existing processes are not capable of, are not adequate, that we need to enhance the capacity. So that we might change the process and process types. So then again, such decisions are made. Such decisions are made. When any periodical changes are required due to technological changes in the products or equipment, or due to market pressures, competitive pressures, process selection decisions are made high impact. Normally, that is clear. It is not a frequent decision, it's an infrequent decision. This decision, process selection, may impact on various other operations decisions, specifically capacity decisions, layout decisions, equipment decisions, and how the work system is arranged and everything. That is what you see here in the next slide. The nature of this decision, we study about process selection. And that is closely linked with the previous area that we discussed, that is capacity planning. Right. So these are two closely related operations management. Process selection affect on capacity, and depending on the capacity requirements, we make selection process adjustments. Both should be decided carefully by understanding the market and other requirements, especially the market requirements. Forecasting, in the sense, market demand, we are going to cater. Size of the volume or size of the demand, we are going to cater. Not only for short term, medium and the long term, right? Accurately, we should forecast first and see the size of demand we are going to cater, and accordingly make decisions. Capacity, how we do it, we discussed last time. Now we are going to cover process selection again. In addition to that, the type of product we are going to produce may impact on the process selection. The type of product, we call it product design. Product design. Now, as we discussed already under the third topic, product design. Sometimes firm decides to have only one type of product, no varieties, right? Only one type of product. We call that type of product without any varieties, changes according to the customers. We are going to manufacture standardized product. The nature of the product design is standardized product. We are not going to change the features, characteristics, and all. So if so, process types would be different. On the other side, assume that we are going to manufacture customized products, changing features, characteristics according to the custom orders we are going to get. That is the nature of the product design. We might require different processes than the earlier. So product design decision affect on process selection. So as technological change, manufacturing or processing technological changes that happen time to time might require the processing change or process selection change. Understand? So likewise, there are some factors to consider when making these decisions, and consequently, once the decisions are made, they may impact on some other operations as you can see in the figure. So they may affect on type of facilities required, buildings, machinery, equipment, production lines. What type of things would be required depend on the process selection. The layout, we will discuss that as next topic. Layout, the physical resource arrangement, how physically the departments, production lines, workstations are located within a building. That physical arrangement should be based on the type of processes we are going to select. They should match together. Likewise, process design, work design here, that's all about what type of job context we will have. Each worker to do, we call it work system or work design or job design as part of it. So, such decision, we are going to cover that topic also. We did cover, right? We did cover. So, we will cover work design as well. So, type of work content for workers may depend on type of processes we have. So, in simple terms, you need to understand these decisions are interrelated. Operations capacity is significantly impacted by process selection and also by layout decision. Layout will be discussed as the next topic. Probably today itself we will be able to start it. Is it clear? So we are going to talk about process selection. It's basically a combination of technology and management part. Right. But technology side we are not going to touch upon because that is beyond our control, beyond our understanding. You know, without knowing that you are here, we start. Anyway, doing it as quickly, I don't know. I'm not going to it now, but as you move, as you try to understand, I will explain it again. We're going to study process selection decision and important area of operations management. Right. Now, when we talk about processes, especially the management side of processes, we identify different types of processes. We call them process types or classification of processes. As any other classification, so process types also is easy for us when we use some criteria. Right. So as you can see here, to divide processes, to identify different types of processes, these two criteria are often used. Process related criteria. One is called process volume, and the other one is called process variety. What are those two criteria? Process volume. Based on process volume, we can divide processes. Other criteria, process variety. It is very simple to understand. What we mean by process volume? That's size of the output we get from the process. Production quantity. Yes, production quantity. Are we going to produce only limited variety, limited quantity, that is low volume, or moderate quantity, moderate volume, or high volume, high volume, or extremely high volume? So in that way, we can divide processes. Low quantity, medium quantity, high quantity, and extreme. That is one criteria. Process volume. That is easy to understand. The second criteria that we use here is process variety. That simply means how many different types of products or services we can produce. Some processes are capable of producing only one type of product, no varieties, only one. So we call it variety loop. To give you more examples, this is just to identify the criteria. Low variety. Whereas some processor with slight adjustments can produce different variety. So variety can be low, moderate, high, or very high. You understand? Some processors can produce different output. So that is another criteria. So what are the two criteria we use to divide, to classify processes? Two process capabilities we use. One is process volume, and the other one is process variety. Accordingly, we can identify basically these 5 process types for manufacturing process. Have you identified it before? These 5 different process types for manufacturing industry. Have you come across this before? Sometimes yes. 5 manufacturing process types. For services, the same 2 rules are, same 2 criteria are used, and then identify 3 different process types. Namely, we are going to spend probably 20 to 30 minutes to identify these different types of processes before the training. And especially their characteristics. Then, of course, the advantages of each, disadvantages or limitations. And for what type of market conditions or operations requirements, what type of processes would be required. That is what we try to. So 5 process types for manufacturing and 3 process types for service. One might ask, is that all? Are there any more? There can be, maybe by combining different process types, right? We can see, but primarily we can classify whatever the processes into these 5 for manufacturing and 3 for. It helps us studying. It helps us comparing. It helps us managing. That is one. That is the purpose of classifying. Right. Let's try to identify them with a little more detail. This slide number 8, in a way, show you how manufacturing process types can be mapped against the 2 criteria. What are the 2 criteria? Volume and variety. So to this end, that is low volume and high volume. And variety in the same way, it goes opposite manner. So high volume towards this end. Sorry. I made a mistake. Volume low to this end, high to that end. Variety high to this end, low to that end. Hope that is clear. Accordingly, manufacturing process types, project process, jobbing, batch, mass processes, also known as assembly lines, and then control. Towards this type of processes, we call them intermittent processes, where the process flow is more disconnected, intermittent. Whereas towards this side, that is mass processes and continuous, we call them continuous processes or repetitive processes. Because of the considering the nature of process task, right? Towards this side, diverse tasks and complex. Towards this side, or repeated tasks and divided in the sense division of labor concept for divided tasks are there towards this. Check whether you can understand. We will discuss unique process type with little more details and examples. But can you see the main classification? The same way we can classify the service processes also. 3 service processes. Compare that one also. I will give you 1 or 2 minutes to go through and ask some questions. Anyway, I am going to explain their characteristics with examples. This is just to understand. Those who came late, can you understand what you are really understanding? So it's about process selection. Operations are anyway involved in managing processes. There are different process types, process related decisions. One is called process design that we already completed. So when we design the product, we should design a process for manufacturing. That is process engineering or process design. The thing that we are going to discuss today, that is process selection, is a different thing. Something to do with the technology and the management of process. Well, basically, one type of decision is that, right? So, technology side of it is mainly only that. So, whether to use machine technology mostly or labor technology. That is one side of the story. And behind that, in the same manner, there can be industry-specific technologies also. Now, the way how biscuits are manufactured in food processing, that is different from how cement manufacturing industry cements are made. So, industry-specific process technologies are there. In addition to that, machine and labor technology. And beyond that, There's a management side of it. Management side of the process where now we need to produce certain amount of product. Quantity. Take the market demand. Sometimes we need low volume, sometimes we need high volume. Take the market demand. The other side, we need to produce sometimes standardized product. Or customized product, depending on the management side. Considering them, businesses should make decisions about processes, recording process selection. As I told you earlier, these two sides. One is the technology side of it, and the other one is the management side. Since the technologies are different from industry to industry, we are not going to discuss more about it. We are discussing more about the management side of it, which is very common and which is simple to understand. And that can be used in different industries. So for that purpose, we classify processes. To classify processes, there are some criteria. We use only two criteria. This is common. Process variety and process volume. And when we apply them for manufacturing, we can identify 5 types of process. And for services, 3. Now, what we are trying to do now is identify more detail. What are those different processes?
About the new beginning start for the improvement.
As we before you come in, we discuss where this type and where this decision would be applicable in the outset when designing a new, and then continue with the same, right? Time to time, maybe due to market pressure, due to market pressure or some technology changes, we will have to make some changes as we move forward. That is the second situation where we will have to make this. Not of. Not of. Right. With that background, now let's quickly move to these process types. I'm not going to provide more details like the undergraduates. You are also undergraduates, but you have a little more experience. You can quickly understand things. So let me give you that assignment, so that activity. You can spend a few minutes. You can share your, you can think of what you know already as well. And probably 3 or 4 of you can work together and try to identify the characteristics of these process types. Project, what it is. Then the next one is called jobbing, what it is. Some details are given here. I will anyway add little more details at the end. So batch, the third most commonly used technique. And most of the industrial sectors are now depend on batch processing and mass processing, also known as repetitive or assembly lines. And there are continuous processes. Probably 2 or 3 can spend the time. Try to understand what are the main characteristics of these processes. Prior to that, let me help you in this regard. So these 5 process types are for what? Manufacturing industry. In manufacturing industries, we produce products, right? We see products as the outcome. What are being processed? What are the usual inputs? Material. Great. We understood there can be in any operation system. Basically, there are 3 transform resources. Transform and operations inputs. One is materials, and the other, what are the other 2? No. There are 3 transformed resources introduced to manufacturing processes, as we understood at the beginning. No, that is transforming resource. We transform resource. Things like what we introduced to the operation systems, we classify them into 3. One is materials. What are the other 2? What are the other 2 things that are processed? We discussed that at the beginning. Any operation system we see Any combination of these three. One is materials, second one customers, third one information. So in processes, what are being processed? Either materials or customers or information. You forget, right? We understood that when we discussed about operation systems. We understood there are three components. One is operations inputs, operations conversion processes, and operations output. Then we took operations inputs and identified there are two types of inputs: transform and transforming. And transform resources are divided into three: materials, customers, and information. So in manufacturing process types, we see materials being into finish. That is why we use this theoretical circle. It helps us see the frameworks that it's easy for us to understand the practice. Right. Materials are processed in manufacturing processes mostly. So in these service processes, what are being processed? Either customers or information. So let's discuss more about this then later. You take 5 to 10 minutes. Right. Think about these 5 manufacturing process types. One can study what project processes are. Another one can study what jobbing processes are and batch processes are. You need to. Then I will help you. Get clear idea. So that's the assembly line, and then continuous. So connected online also can go through the slides up to slide number 16, 17. And give it a try to understand. One person cannot study all 5 devices among your friends. One person can study only one or 2. आएगा पास कथा करेगा Yeah, that means you will easily understand this diagram when you know the differences between each process type, right? But at the outset, if I quickly explain you, right? I like this illustration very much because it summarizes almost everything you should know. So it shows us the 5 processes. And in line with volume and variety, how they are different, if you can understand. So for an example, project process. In terms of volume, low volume. In terms of variety, project processes, If you understand, when you understand it, when you know the details, you can quickly understand. How about jobbing? The next type of process, volume low to moderate, relatively low type. And how about variety? Variety is still high, different outputs. And batch, volume is relatively higher than jobbing. That is what. Batch processors are capable of producing relatively high volume than jobbing. In terms of variety, low variety than jobbing. Understand it? Then comes mass process, which are capable of producing high volume. And in terms of variety, no, fewer variety. This is standardized product. Coming to the last one, continuous processes. They are capable of producing extremely high volume. Hello, extremely high volume. When it comes to variety, extremely low in the sense highly standardized one type of product can be highly standard. So accordingly, it nicely summarized. In the same manner, the service process. Professional services, low volume, high variety. Service shops, moderate volume, moderate variety. Mass services, high volume, low variety. So in terms of process flow, towards this side, we call them intermittent process. Processes are not so tightly connected to each other. They are discrete. You will understand. Discrete processes, divided processes are there, intermittent. Towards this side, that is from batch to especially mass and continuous, we call them flow is continuous. Steps are connected to each other very much. Continuous. Process tasks towards this end more complex and diverse, towards this end more divided and repeat. That is how you can simply summarize it. But you need more detail. That is what we try to do. If I explain everything, you will be like, put little more efforts to understand. I don't hear you are talking. Just still study. Divide the processes among your friends quickly and try to get and understand. Okay, a total of 5 minutes I will give you. After that, I will quickly give your points and help you understanding it. But prior to that, you better discuss and understand. That means characteristics of each. At least basic understanding you need to have.
Proceed or to close.
Meanwhile, if you have some doubts, questions, you can write down in we discuss, you can ask. Okay, done with it. Right, what we try to understand here, we try to understand that there are different process types. So how they are different? In terms of what they are different? In terms of what aspects they are different? Based on the criteria in terms of process volume and variety. So in addition to that, different types. So we use only one type of them to produce a given product. For an example, in manufacturing a product, like let's say a chair, furniture item, should we select only one type of thing, like job shop or batch or what? This is not product specific, right? That is what you need to understand. In fact, it refers to how the process activities are organized, which means to produce the same product, we can either use project processes or job shops or batch or even mass production to produce the same product. It's the way in which we organize it. That is the figure. So we need to know we have to use which, depending on especially market characteristics, market requirements, and the capacities needed. Right. Keep that in your mind when you try to compare them and understand their characteristics. Right. Coming to project process. The main characteristic you could identify there. For project processes, great. That is one main characteristic to manufacture a fully customized product. Almost 100%. Fully customized products. Project procedures should be used. fully customized product can be produced. That is one main character. What else? Low production volume is another characteristic. It is low as one product. Project processors are capable frequently producing only one product. One output. No more. That is highly customized. Such we call like one of a kind products. One of a kind product. For example, building output city. One output that we consider it requires a project process that has various different activities should be completed step by step. At the end of it, we get the final product. Only one. Highly customized. Project funding. Project processing. One. Flyover. Okay, over a junction. One now. That's struggling to complete it. One now. An airport. One now. Large scale one ship requires project process. Not only these complicated products, bulky products, even just a few, some bakers accept wedding cakes. So they start from designing and then complete only one wedding cake. When it comes to manufacturing, making one such highly customized one cake, it requires project process. Step by step, they complete it and then only one hour clear. So one such we call project processing. They are the nature of operations completely different. How we plan it, how we utilize resources, type of layout required, type of workers we use, everything. Think about workers and activities there. What type of activities, what type of workers they use there? Skilled workers who maybe specialize in one activity. Once they complete it, they have to recruit another set of workers who can complete the next work. Right? And resources and equipments machinery, each level, each phase of the project may require different resources, different equipments. And we see very low utilization ratios, utilization of resources very low. We can't expect efficiency. Not at all. Very low utilization with project process. But what is the main advantage? Highly customized out that are completed within a time frame. So such process management, right? We call it project management. Their operations management activities are project management activities. Project planning, project scheduling, and then project implementation, project expediting. Those are the operations management activities with project. Completely different. In fact, unfortunately, we are not going to discuss things in detail. But if you are into such operations, you need to study that. Because as operations managers, you are managing such projects. So project management skill is a must for them. What is it? Project management. Project planning, project scheduling, project implementation, project conclusions, project tracking or project expediting. Those are the activities relevant for project process. Right. That's about projects. Jobbing. What are the main characteristics we could identify for jobbing processes? Yeah. One main characteristic there the capacity, production volumes are relatively low. Probably few products, fewer quantities. So as we use a name for them, we call them, probably we might produce only one time, only one quantity. Unit production. Hopefully we see lot production. Lot is a small quantity. 2, 5, 10, it depends on the product. 50, 100 as well sometimes. That is low in some product. So lot production can be seen there. Each lot, each quantity would be of changeable specification according to customer needs, which means customized product in small volume. They require just what else? Few examples are given there. For example, aircraft manufacturer. For the leading aircraft manufacturers in the world, like Airbus, Boeing. So they get orders from different airline services. So when they place orders, do they order only 1 or 2 at a time? Probably 5, 10. Right? Not necessarily only 1. They order particular model, 5 aircrafts of that model, or 10 something. So manufacturers, do they produce 1 by 1? They produce all 5 together as a small batch, so that they can save a lot of time, a lot of resources, and especially labor. They complete those 5 aircrafts together as a small batch and move to the other order that may be 8 of other types, 8 aircrafts of other model that they produce as a small batch. Right? So product or not product. That is the difference. Each order is customized. But volume very low. Type of workers and their role, work content. How can you comment on that? Do they get similar type work, or do we need skilled workers who can perform different tasks? When we have domain processes, we need skilled workers, right? We need skilled workers who can customize the products and manufacture according to the customer requirement. So that we call it skilled jobber, one person who can handle different tasks, or a team with complete jobbing process. Okay. Now, you as accountants, you as finance managers, one day or even now, might not be involved in manufacturing, but you may involved in service operation. Service operation. Don't you think that you may use this strategy, this process style, to complete your activity? If you are working for a accounting firm, if you are working for an audit firm, of course, the type of assignments you get from one client to another would be different, right? So that you may require kind of job shop kind of process, not necessarily produce products, but you are producing reports, right? Generating reports that are managed through this type of operation. Each time you get different assignments from different industries, firms in different scales, so that your assignments may be different. So you need a skilled team who can complete different activities and provide customized output. Batch processing. Can you tell me the difference between jobs and batch between it? Could you identify it? Is there a difference? Okay, number of products and the quantity, that is the main difference. So, number of products here compared to the more variety. No, variety lower. That is the main difference between these and jobbing job or job jobs. In fact, that is why we call them batch processing is somewhat standardized job jobs. We reduce the variety and increase the volume. Right? Where we can see them mostly. I mean, all the manufacturing systems. Yeah, we mostly see this processing type in most of the industries. From shoes manufacturing to slippers manufacturing to garments manufacturing to liquor, some liquor brands, some liquor bottles, some brands. And then almost all the computer appliance, electronic appliances, right? Mobile phones to tabs to PCs to laptops. Refrigerators, automobiles, some of them are fine. Right? Garments, yes, clothes, and food items. Right? Food items. And almost all personal care products. Toothpaste to perfumes. And FMCG products. Manufactured using this. So that they produce in relatively moderate volume, selected variety. Selected variety. So that what is the advantage when they increase the volume? What is the advantage from operation side? Cost. Operating cost per unit cost can be reduced. But for that, what we need to do, we should know the market demand. That should be relatively high and moderate high. And then get the understanding price. Now, certification. Can we produce customized product? Or can we produce standardized product using batch processing? Okay, that is the common thing, right? Often we can produce standardized products using batch processing, but nevertheless, we can even produce customized products using batch processing. Some garments industry, customized products, but they use batch processing. So both type of products can be done. But that size should be relatively, otherwise it should be good. That's it. Coming to fourth one, which is commonly used in industrial production for both B2B and B2C, mostly B2C, right? This one, batch processing is used in both B2C and B2B, but repetitive processes we see mostly in B2C, but in some in B2B context also, if they expect standardized products. So what is the main difference here compared to other types? So what is the main unique characteristic here in assembly line? Yeah, output is more standardized. We can produce standardized output basically. Traditional mass processors, we can produce only standardized product. That means We cannot change features, characteristics as per the customer need. Correct. How about the volume? Very, very high. Fast output. Production rates are faster. Why? In other words, I mean, we can understand it other way around. When the market demand is high, we might require assembly lines to cater the market. Not the other way around. When the market demand is stable, high, we might require assembly line processors, kind of mass processors to produce in big volumes and supply. Why production rates are higher in this? Factories, large instance. No, not necessarily, but small products, very simple products can be arranged as yes, mass processors. What is the reason behind it? Not necessarily essential products, you mean, right? Essential products or grocery products or whatever the products that have higher demand, we can use this. Yes, for the efficiency purpose. Yeah, that is why. How the efficiency is, we can understand efficiency is extremely high here. Okay. Why? That is the main reason. That's the main reason. And it was based on that economic concept you are familiar with. Division of labor, produced by Adam Smith, which laid the foundation for economics. Production. This concept, this production technology is based on division of labor concept. And then, as we correctly pointed out, specializing. That helps all the industries to expedite production. As you know, in division of labor concept, happens. So that is the outcome. But how that is achieved? What is division of labor concept? That is exactly utilized here. Okay. Great, that is fun. We didn't have a simple idea. In division of labor, what happens? The main production process is divided into smaller components, smaller job parts. And one job content is assigned to one worker. The worker is repeatedly doing only the limited task there. And as a result, getting a kind of specialization. And everyone is specialized in what they do, and they manage with a limited task so that they can expedite the production. That is exactly used in assembly line, mass production. That is it. In fact, in the industrial history or industrial management history, production management history, they consider this as a kind of revolution in the production method. And they named it as the second revolution of industrial growth. Industrial Revolution 1, and this was the second 2.0. Second wave of industrial revolution. When initially an automobile manufacturer, Ford, had attempted to utilize this concept, assembly line concept, to manufacture their automobile. They manufactured a Model T one black color standardized automobile. Someone I is doing this. Standardized automobile, high efficient assembly line. Is when they have invented this once. Okay. This is considered as a second wave of industrial revolution, and then all the other industries learn fast to produce efficient. That helps industrial growth. So that is it. There what we see is an assembly line. What is an assembly line? The production process is divided into steps. In each step, limited tasks are completed and forwarded to the next. Likewise, each workstation they complete some tasks. At the end of the assembly line, we get the finished product. What you see here. So now in industries like automobile manufacturing, we will use this. Not only there are many other industries. There are two types of assembling. One is manual assembly, and the other one is automatic assembly. Manual assembly. People, workers are used. Production process is arranged as an assembly line. Have you seen it? No. Can you imagine it? Production process is arranged as an assembly line, but who are working? People. Workers. Efficiently. So, for example, when I visited one of the leading electrical manufacturers in Srilanka, French, the factory at Nipe, probably 10 years ago when I visited, for one product, that is those days LED bulbs. This is a standardized product. Now it has, as I can remember, 5 or 6 work centers. In each center, 2 workers are working, and they work in pairs. So 10 working in the line. So they complete different parts, assemble the LED bulb. They have imported all the required parts. Don't try to steal their business now. Imagining what parts are required and how they do it. Then at the end of the process, they pack it and have it. Manual assembly. That's it. And then automatic assembly. That has become more popular now. We call it process automation sometimes. Machines or robotic arms are completely different processing steps. Faster. Let me see. That arrangement is called mass processing. Can you see the difference? What type of workers required there? Workers should be capable of doing more tasks or limited tasks. Limited, narrow scope. Same work again and again, repeatedly. So their skill requirements are very limited and narrow. Repeated jobs are there. Repetitive activity. Efficiency is very important. Now here, batch processing and job processing, we see more setups. Process setups, also known as process changeover, which means when one small batch is over, before starting the next one, they need to adjust the process. They need to set up the process. We call it setup. So often in garment factories, let's say, when one model, one design is completed, then they want to start the next one, they will change. When I visited one personal care products like Galle, Hema's factory, they are using the same production process. Let's say toothpaste, they're producing flow gum. So when one size of toothpaste is done, they need to do some setups. It's just the process to start the next. But in the assembly lines, no such setups. Almost instant. Understand it? Because same product is manufactured again and again. In assembly line. I'm not going to show you this thing because that is, I mean, very difficult to get access to it here. But YouTube videos are available. Toyota to Honda to BMW. Yeah, this type of highly automated assembly lines are used to manufacture cars and various other products. So, very little time. So, as I told you earlier, in assembly lines, often automation is highly used. Automation in the sense, use of more machines instead of workers. There are different types of automation solutions available, from programmable fixed automation to programmable automation to flexible. So we can understand. Fixed, that can be changed once it is ready, or once it is arranged or designed. Programmable automation, with limited variety, they can use for different limited variety of production processes, whereas the flexible automation is the most flexible. And the invention of assembly line was the second wave, industry 2.0. Then, with technological revolution like digitalization, that is considered as third wave. And now it says we are in fourth wave of industrial revolution. Digitalization plus sensing device, self-managed processor. That is fourth. So that we see with most of these automated assembly lines now. With AI and other technologies that has become that machine learning thing. So industry 4.0. Coming to the last part of it, it is continuous. What is that? Have you seen some of this? Where can we use this type of process? Food, not necessarily everywhere. Be specific. Where we can see. Continuous processing. What is the main characteristic here? Of course, extremely high volume. Okay. What else? Yeah, extremely high volume. Yes. Extremely high volume. What are the other characteristics? So that market requirement should be extremely high. The demand for your product should be well established, stable. Then only you can deploy this technology. Type of process. High demand, stable demand. I mean, whatever amount you produce, you will be able to sell in the market. The demand is high. But continuous flow is what differentiating from others. Continuous flow. In the sense, the production processes steps are well connected to each other, and then it continues. Continues into 24/7. 24/7. And 365 days. That's how. That is the nature of it. Processors are capable of running for 365 days. Unless otherwise they stop for some what we call preventive maintenance. Time to time there can be scheduled preventive maintenance, so that they stop there. Not easy. It takes sometimes few days to slowly stop it and do the necessary changes, servicing, oiling, changing parts and all, and then they can't start quickly. They have to slowly start. Slow stop down and slow stoppages and slow start. And expensive also. Per day production, 1 week production, huge amount that they are going to lose. But anyway, they stop only for preventive maintenance or for breakdowns. No any other option. Otherwise, such processes will be operated. Where can we see that? Some examples, some industries, power generating firms, maybe hydropower or especially diesel or coal power, especially coal power. That cannot be stored. You stop, it takes few days to restart it. Coal power plant generating, or power generating. Where is? Where is? Huh? Healthcare? No, not necessarily. The services are important, but don't misunderstand it. Not that the demand, service demand for the service. No, but how we produce the output. We don't see that there, right? But your point, I understand what you are saying, so, but that is not. Production processes are continued. Where can we see it? Power plant, power generating, telecommunication, the type of processing. We can't directly link it here because there's a manufacturing process types, right? So tangible product should be produced in this case. But telecommunication service providing, there the information processing takes place differently. Technologies are different. Not necessarily all the biscuits. Why? Biscuits usually, right? Using batch products, not even assembly line. But some high demanded biscuits may be manufactured in assembly line, maybe cake sometimes, but mostly they are manufactured using batch. Because the demand is such. Demand they can add up. Right? They plan them as batches and then cake. Oil refining, like we have in Sri Lanka, the Sapugaskan oil refinery, that has to be operated continuously. One might ask, then we are producing different outputs, not only one product, but that these are byproducts in the production process. Right? The processes are operated aiming at one main product, and in the process they are producing different byproducts. Byproducts in the sense that is the nature of production process. And from diesel to petrol to gas to other things. What they call it, oil refineries, they produce different output in the process. Then of course other industries are manufacturing, right? They use 24-hour operation. Water purification, they use 24 hours operation. So, not only there, recently I saw an example when it comes to products like Coca-Cola. Right? Coca-Cola, classic. One main type of product, only one, standardized product that has a huge demand, especially in Europe, US. Some of their Mexican factories, they operate at 24/7. Continuous processing to manufacture and bottle, and supply. The demand is such. Continuous processes are required. High demanded commodity type product. Coca-Cola, no variety. Classic Coke. So, highly capital intensive and automated processes we use there. With minimum changes. Same without making any change. Because only one product is manufactured. Can you see this? Right. those are the different manufacturing process types. How many we identified? 5. Can you see now? Even to produce the same product, we might use batch product, batch project, batch process, or job shop or batch project, job shop or batch, or even that is not about production process, but how we arrange. As managers, we need to know those advantages and constraints, and for what type of market conditions, operational requirements we need to use what type of process. But you see here, this is the average cost curve that says, that you can see here. Now, you know the product life cycle framework from introductory phase to growth phase, then to maturity phase. Right? Stages are different. Especially the demand for the product gradually changing from one phase to another, right? So aligning with that, businesses should change the type of process. Initially, job shops, which is recommended, maybe the demand is low and customers prefer variety. The job shop kind of arrangement would be better to begin with, but at the growth stage, when the demand is gradually increasing, cater the market demand, businesses should expedite the production. And one way to do that is changing from job shop to batch. Only a selected high demanded items will be produced in high volume in batches. Can you understand that? That understanding should be there. And thereby we can expedite the volume. Consequently, we can reduce the per unit cost. When we reach to the next level, that is maturity level, market demand is extremely high, and at the top, at the peak, no varieties are required. 1 or 2 high demanded items will be there, so that businesses can change production processes from batch to assembly line sometimes, and thereby further efficient the process that is suitable. Operate at extremely low operating cost. And some industries will be able to deploy continuous processes as well by automating the processes. Only if the demand sustains for a very long time and demand is at higher level. So that initially the capital investment would be high, but gradually they will be able to further reduce the price. So like that, I mean, that is what we call process. But you as accountants and finance managers, finance executives, using more service processing technology, information processing and customer processing. I'm not going to spend more time, but can you give me an example for these 3? Professional service processing. If you understand what they are, professional service, which means variety high, volume low. Variety high. That means standardized services or customized services. Customized services, volume low. Probably only one customer at a time. One information, one file at a time. If it is customer, one customer. If it is information, probably one data or one information, one file. Here can you see professional service processes are required. Create intelligence. Doctors, especially consultants, right? When they consult one patient, or maybe when they conduct surgeries, right? Professional service processes are required because one customer, one patient, their requirements are unique. Treatments requirements are unique. Professional service processes are unique. So the resources, type of activities, technologies, everything is unique. Where else you see professional service? Legal services, yes. They are not customers, right? And in legal cases, each legal case that has that piece of information, right? Kind of files. Each case is unique. Can you understand it? So legal firms handling different clients' cases, they should take one case at a time and process it and give the service, professional services. Not customers are processed, but cases are processed. But from operation side, that's how you should understand. If you are a lawyer, you should understand each case is unique. That you need professional services. And that is why the charges are high. Each case is unique. Dentist providing their service. Each customer, each patient is unique. Understand it? It requires professional service process. Beauticians and beauty salons. Makeup artists. Yes. Often makeup artists and beauticians and the beauty salons and all may require professional service process because only one customer is processed. Where can we see service shop processing? Good. Can you tell me the main characteristics here? Service shop processing. University lectures and lecturing arrangement like this here. Why? What is the main characteristic here? How many items being processed at a time? What is the volume? One, few, or many? Few. Relatively low volume, low to moderate volume. Can you understand it? Service shop processing, more than one, of course, but few or small volume. That's the main thing. Process together as small batches. So your examples are very clear. Small university education, small batches like this, service shop processing. And can we customize the service or should we produce standardized service? Not necessarily. Each batch can be how we process each batch could be customized. Right? But within the batch, standardized. Within the batch, everything should be processed in the same. But batches can be different. Where else you can see service process. At banks, anyone from bank industry? When we process, let's say, loan applications, let's say personal loans, mortgage loans, and various other loan applications, they don't just process only one file at a time, right? Probably 3 or 5 files together can be processed so that they can expedite the processing. Like files. Not necessarily one file as in legal cases, but few files together, that's processing. Transportation. Passenger transportation, office staff services, in a way, right? Postal services, courier services could be good examples for service shops. Coming to the last one, mass service processors. But they are. Well, services like telecommunication. information is processed in large volume and standby services are given. Where else you see? Masters. Public transportation, especially in railway transport. Right? Because standardized service, you are not going to provide customers. So railway transportation or what we call metro services for a large crowd, volume is high, standardized service. Volume is high, standardized service. So there can't be one, there can't be different example. You should be specifically listed. What is it? Now, say for example, you have a small kid, you go to a private hospital to give a vaccination done. Right? A small infant. So after examining the child and understanding all the other things, they will recommend, okay, you are going to get the vaccination, which is it will be done. So what service process arranged there? Out of these three, it's a professional service. But in a, let's say, a vaccination center in your area, government hospital, right, they may arrange vaccination process for different vaccines. Let's say there are 3 vaccines given on a particular day. So patients are grouped into 3 lines and then process separately. Understand? It's a kind of service shop arrangement, not a professional service. Depending on the market demand, number of customers to cater, and type of service you are going to offer, process types should be adjusted. Can you understand that? Another example, like during Corona period, mass immunization was required. Everyone should be given the same vaccination. So, for that, what kind of service process arrangement is needed? Was needed. Are they going to differentiate the solution from one person to another? No. Standardized service. How about the volume requirement? Extremely high, in fact. I mean, majority of us should be vaccinated, so that the procedure should be arranged in a way that standardized service can be provided to big crowd. So mass service processes are required. Can you understand it? So that is how we see the differences between process types. They should be selected appropriately for the business operation, depending on the market demand and other operations. And that decision is called process selection decision. And that decision affects on other decisions. After the break, we'll talk about one such another area like layout. It's 3-5. At what time you are going to come back? To decide. Come back completely as quick as possible. Don't go home.
Break it with the silent. The circle. Break it.
Okay. This one. Okay. And it's complete distance, right? Complete the distance, is that? Already left the class. So we'll come after some time, right? It's up to date. Almost 1 hour, I don't know. Good. Right, since we run short of time, let's move to the topic in line and try to complete as quickly as possible. This area of operations management, we call it facility layout design. Facility layout design decision. Another important operations management topic that we can't avoid when we discuss about operations management. So, in this topic, we will define what facility layout is and understand the importance of layout planning from operations management point of view. And at the same time, we mainly focus on identifying identifying basic layout types available and their characteristics. What main advantages are there, what main disadvantages there. Although I have included most of those layout types in the handout, I will not discuss everything in detail since we run out of time and you can study them by yourself. I will just show you what they are and their basic characteristics. In your course outline, only these two layout types are expected to discuss in detail. One is process layout type, and the other one is product layout types that I will take in little detail. And then how basically these two types of layouts can be designed, should be designed, what techniques are there, how they can be done. Okay. That we will quickly discuss. Although there are some slides in the because it's a lengthy handout. So just having a copy is enough. If you want, you can get a print out, but otherwise, just having the top copy is enough. I will show you what are the main areas we should pay attention. Right. We're going to talk about layout and layout planning. For instance, facility layout and facility layout planning. That decision, layout planning, as you can see, layout planning is all about. Now we talk about facility. That means buildings, premises, used for operation. So within the building, within the operations facilities, how the physical arrange should be made, should be done, is what we call the layout. So in a manufacturing setup or manufacturing organization, factory, so inside the factory buildings, where to place which processing step, where to place which workstation, where to place which machine in such a way that operations can be smoothly performed. So deciding that physical resource arrangement is what we call facility layout plan. So in service organizations, like at a bank or supermarket or any such place in different departments, workstations within the service outlet in such a way that service providers can efficiently utilize the machines resources there and customers can efficiently get their services done. Understanding? So arranging the physical resources within the operations facility is what we call facility layout. It is an important thing. So it's all about arranging the physical arrangement of resources within an operations facility. It not only refers to within the building, maybe around the building's premises, we have to place which areas so that operations can be smoothly completed, efficiently as well as smoothly. So more specifically, layout decision involves determining the placement of departments, workstations, machines, and stock holding points, and other important departments and transforming resources within an operations facility. When such decision is needed, when facility layout decisions are needed, when we are starting a new facility, when we are designing a new facility, new factory, any outlet also, at the beginning we need to plan it. We need to design it. Then, of course, as we operate the facility, time to time, probably after some time, when the situations change, the technologies change, when market requirements are changing, as a response, as an adjustment, we might have to adjust the layout time to time to suit the market requirements or processing. But this is again a kind of infrequent decision that we are not going to change every day or every week, every month, every year. Layout decisions are a little more for long-term purpose. Does that mean we can't change the layout? No, we'll have to change only when required. Right. More technical terms, it's all about locating transforming resources. How the transforming resources are positioned. And then how various processing tasks are allocated to these transforming resources within a building. You know, operations inputs are of two types. Transforming inputs and transformed inputs. Layout is all about where to place transforming resources. So you remember, transforming resources. Those are the machines, equipment, and then staff. We have to place them inside the factory so that how the transformed resources are moved through the facility. Customers, products, or information. How they move through the facility, their flow may be determined based on the facility layout. Can you understand it? How we arrange the resources determine how materials, customers, or information may go through the production process. A good factory layout or other layout types like office layouts or service layouts can provide real competitive advantage for a business. The layout side. So who involves in the layout decisions? Can operations manager using their requirements do that alone? Or not? There's a technology concept. So technology experts should be involved here. In addition to that, there are design engineers, especially someone called interior design experts, having some creative and technological knowledge, designing the layouts, utilizing the space, the better. So their support, their professional competency should be used here in design. It's a technological and creative piece of work. What you see here in the top image here, that is a bank, the lobby area. So how the space is allocated among different machines, equipment, tools, so that customers can fulfill their requirements. These are mostly self-service desks that we see often in banks now. ATM machines to CDM machines to check deposit machines to various other payment machines and waiting areas likewise. So how the spaces are allocated for each activity depending on the requirement. So inside the bank, there can be different office arrangements appropriately. Sections, departments are allocated separate areas. That has to be done. At a factory, you see a different one, right? So machines are established in a pre-established or pre-identified path. Materials are introduced to the machines, maybe using forklifts or manual handling. Then processes are completed, finished products are gathered, they are transported to the warehouse. So space allocation, space utilization. Depending on the technological production process. That's called layout. Professionals like you working for finance department, for accounting departments, for working audit firms or accounting firms. For you, is that relevant? Layout and layout plans, layout decisions, are they relevant for you? Maybe yes, why? Your department. In designing you are working for accounting department, finance department, but you are managing financial operations there. Accounting operations there. So that you'll have to keep that operations side, operations part aside, you'll have to arrange your department, right? In a way that you can get the things done efficiently. You can supervise others' work. You are having a healthy working environment, friendly working environment. Otherwise, what happens? The time we are going to spend there will be unhealthy, not appropriate, because in that case, that is office environment, right? You're going to spend more than 9 hours a day, isn't so? 5+ days per week. So that layout arrangement should be better. That includes the working conditions and more. Where you place your departments, where you place your sections, and then of course arranging the working conditions and lighting conditions, ventilation, temperature level, vibration, dust, humidity. Because you are going to spend more hours there. So planning it as per the operations requirement is what we are going to decide. Clear? That is called layout planning. Layout planning, which is not only relevant for operations, but for other departments and as well as in our day-to-day. What you see here, a restaurant. Can you imagine a restaurant from kitchen area to food preparation area to preparation and parceling, and then counter area, order taking, order processing, and then of course cash collection and all, and then the dining areas inside and outside. Space within a restaurant allocated among different departments, and the layout should have been designed in a way that operations can be smoothly completed, and the dining areas and all in a more pleasant and attractive manner, so that customers would experience the place, and that itself would be a competitive advantage. Yes. That layout plan is important. Slide number 7 introduces you what are the common objectives for layout plan. The first point here, it says for factories or in manufacturing, the main layout objective is to arrange the physical environment in such a way that ensures a smooth workflow. Okay? Arrange the physical environment in such a way to ensure a smooth workflow. Our activities can be smoothly completed. That is the main objective. For a service firm, it says to ensure a particular traffic pattern. To ensure a particular traffic pattern. Like restaurants, supermarkets, banks, hospitals. Customers coming out, customers patronize the place, visit the place. They go here and there. Have you been to motor traffic department at where immigration office at Bhattaramulla? The layout should have been arranged in a way that users, customers or visitors can easily move through the sections, departments, and easily get done the service and leave the place. Smooth traffic pattern. Understand it? Supermarkets, when we go there, we expect to reach different shelves, select the products that we want, compare products, and have a pleasant shopping experience there, and then make the payments efficiently, check out and leave the place. But that layout is understand it? So to ensure smooth traffic pattern. For manufacturing, smooth workflow. In addition to that, the other objectives are also mentioned here. Go through it and take a look. To a large extent, the objectives of any layout will depend on the strategic objectives of the operation. But there are some general objectives which are relevant to all operations. All layout should be inherently safe. Safe to whom? Safe to user. That is another layout objective, layout design objective. No danger to either staff or customer. That has gained a lot of recognition now. Designing the layout in such a way that industrial accidents are minimized, making it more healthy, and same environment for the users. Layout should usually minimize the length of flow. Length of flow should be minimized. Whether that is material or customers or even information. Length of flow we try to minimize. And then preferably make the flow clear. How it moves, where it moves should be clear. Staff should be located away from noisy or unpleasant areas of the operations, machines, departments. And all equipment should be accessible at the same time. Right? So that we can utilize them. Layout should achieve an appropriate use of space rather than just idling the space. Best use of space, increase the utilization of space, and then allow for flexibility in the longer terms. If they want to make some changes, we should now design them with the flexibility. So these are other objectives for layout. Second, you can understand common objectives for layout design. In addition to that, what else you think? What are the other concerns? What else we should think when designing layout? These are okay groups, but you may have your own understanding here. Cost of what? Cost of the layout. Layout design. So that should, if not the lowest cost, at least reasonable. Yeah. Reasonable and acceptable. And we can design layout with latest technologies and latest concepts and all, right? But what if the cost is extremely high? Is not. In a way, layout cost, design plus maintenance cost. Layout maintenance cost should also be quite good. Rather than putting up more space or acquiring more space, how to maximally utilize the available space should be another consideration. In fact, that is what they consider it as appropriate use of space, but we can highlight that. How to maximize the utilization of space. What else? Security, supervision aspect, surveillance. That is both customers and then the staff. And minimizing the security threats. And all scaling possibilities for scaling, okay. Right. Should be able. Is that a layout issue? By making layout changes, will be. So businesses should take it as a serious decision that affects any other aspects, but mostly on operation. However, from business to business, they have their value systems, their styles. Okay. Then, of course, their corporate design concepts and all that they follow. That we should not. Because it's partly marketing tool, especially in service. Marketing tool, arrangement of the area, then of course branding. Right. That's okay. Good. So these are common objectives that can be renewed. Right. In that introduction, now let's see what are the layout types available for operations purposes and how they are different from each other. For operational purposes, we identify these main four layout types for manufacturing firms. How many? Again, four. Right? They are different. Earlier, what we studied? Process types. They are different from layout types. They are related, but they are different. Right. The first one, we call it fixed position layout. That has unique characteristics. We'll come to their later. Then, of course, we have process-oriented layouts. They call it process-oriented layout. Their characteristics are unique, different. They are also known as functional layouts or job shop layouts. The main characteristic is similar resources are grouped together. That's the main characteristic. We will discuss more. What is the third one? We call it the product-oriented layout. That is unique. Also known as flow shops or assembly lines. Common. Where the main characteristic is to produce a specific standardized product efficiently. Production steps are followed when deciding the layout. According to the production steps, the layout is arranged. That is the main characteristic. Earlier one, similar resources grouped together. This one, production sequence is followed. We'll provide the details. And then we have these hybrid layouts, or what we call cellular layouts or cell layouts, which combines more than one technique, one layout, and hybrid. Combined aspects of both the process layouts and product layouts in an appropriate manner, so that advantages of both can be obtained. Okay. These four main layouts, namely fixed position layout is there, process-oriented layouts are there, product-oriented layouts are there, and hybrid layouts are there. Now we need to know their characteristics and their limitations, where to use which one. In addition to them, I will come to this slide. In addition to them, there are these layout types also specifically, especially in service context, office layouts used in arranging and designing offices. Retail layouts used in retail shops, supermarkets and various other retail shops. And then warehouse layouts used in warehouses, places where products are stored. So they are the layout specific characteristics. We call them warehouse. In the same manner, some industries now they have unique layout design so that we can identify some other layout types also. Say hospital layouts are little different. Although they can be related to some other hospital layouts. Then banking layouts are there. Exhibition layouts are there. So likewise, we can have some unique different layout categories also. Clear? Office layout, retail layout, warehouse layout. And slide number 11 and 12 gives you little more details about their objectives. Some examples, interesting examples are there. I have taken this from a textbook. And then other three: fixed position, job shops, product oriented, and hybrid. Spend little time in those fields. We will discuss with little more detail. But to show familiarity, layout name. The names of layers. Then if we go to different data groups or different online resources, you may come across some other names also. But knowing about this basic would be enough for the extent. Although there are different types, we are going to focus only on two. As per the course outline, if you need more details, I will provide. Awesome. So what are the two things we are going to discuss in detail? Process-oriented layouts and product-oriented. You may not understand it by just reading it. Let's discuss so that you can simply understand that language. Any quick questions you want to ask from me before moving into details? Simply how if you have thought of the layout seriously? Or are you type of people like me, not interested in changing things, just consider what is given as given, and then just do your task and do the thing. Many of us, isn't so? Only a few are ready to, they are capable of understanding what is the real root process here, how can we make the place more attractive, more efficient, and we should change it in a way like this, right? So that after making the changes, they do things faster, better, efficient, simple. Only, rare kind of people can do that. And to become good managers, that still is a must. Not only to do the task as given, but how to improve it. Thinking how to improve it, make the initiatives, and then do the changes and sustain it. That's it. අනවශ්‍ය දේවල් කරන්න යනවා නෑ. ඒක විදිහට පිය විදිහට වැඩේකට එන්න ඕනේ. With that, so these are two different approaches, right? So get the things done as you want, or as you think, and then improve. Right. Slide number 13 introduces you some characteristics of poor layout. We call them symptoms of poor layouts. When we describe some of them, you might recall certain phases. There also I have overcome this. I have come across this issue. So likewise. So these are recognized as main characteristics of poor layout that are often ignored, thinking that we can't do anything with it, anything about it. So, these points, there can be many other, right? So long distances in the workflow unnecessarily. As customers, you are traveling a long distance unnecessarily. As workers, you are going here and there unnecessarily. Without knowing, you have to do that, but it could be a layout issue. The way that departments are looking. Condition. Things are stuck somewhere there. Customers, information, or products. Stuck somewhere. Condition. And bad utilization of space. By looking at it, you feel like can't we improve the utilization? Like space is there, but we are not utilizing. Everything is stuck somewhere. The sign of a poor layout. Instead, what should have happened? We should be able to clearly see. Place is nicely and neatly used. More efficient manner. So that in a small space available, we can easily get the things done. That utilization is a sign of a poor layout. Excessive stock in process at the facility without completing things are getting processed slowly, which could indicate sign of poor layout. Have you been to a press, maybe medium to small medium scale presses? Somewhere they are in Lanka area, Jeram area. Have you been? You have been to a place. No one knows where these stocks are located. Only one or two may know. Right? Those are congested place. Yeah, things are stored here and there. I happen to conduct some lectures for Srilanka Printing Institute. And as a part of it, we visited Sri Lanka printing. Sri Lanka printing Printing Institute. That is the education arm of it, and then the Sri Lankan printers, government printers office. Public view. Government printers, right? So their things are stocked here and there. They are standard by the way, but still. You go to a place like Telkandal area, Jeram area printers, right? You can't even find a path to go. Located in. And this is also another characteristic. Simultaneous bottlenecks and workstations with idle time. Bottlenecks, what they are. Like a neck of a bottle. Things get stuck somewhere in the process without moving. And then after that, there are some steps. Workers are there, machines are there. They don't have work to do, but things are stuck somewhere. If you see something within your office, inside the factory, that's a sign of a poor layout. That we need to address, that we need to improve. So that there are different techniques. At the same time, qualified workers carrying out too many simple operations is also a sign of poor layout. Workers are anxious and facing discomfort by completing the job role. And there are many accidents. That could also be. There are certain issues we call it occupational disease. Have you heard of it? Nature, occupational diseases, which means as a part of the job, when they are involved in such activities for a long time, they may be physically facing some disabilities. And as well as some mentally. That is the part, and that is the nature of the job. That is the nature of the working conditions there. I've been to, before joining the university, I have been working for a training company. They had two manufacturing facilities. One was, brass hinges and steel hinges. Construction industry we use hinges. Like Colombo, we had that factory. I visited there a few times. Have you been to a place like that? Just going to highlight these accidents and the worker condition. The first day that I went there, spent inside the factory for probably 15 to 20 minutes. Such a noisy place, making steel hinges, brass hinges with a lot of equipment, machines, pressing and hammering. It's a noisy place. When I come out after 20 minutes, I couldn't even get my hearing for some time. So imagine the people who are working there for 8 hours, 10 hours, 5 days a week, more than that, for a lifetime. It felt really bad, but I was a training there. Yeah, I got to make any solution at that time. Because even I didn't realize that. I just thought that is the nature of it. I didn't want to go there anything. But later when I started teaching this subject, I appreciate that working condition was there. Isn't that the case for many other industries? Because are exposed to various hazardous processes. Noise, chemicals, sounds, and then vibrations, heat. Environment pollution. Pollution. Those are also there. So these are areas that we have ignored. That we need to address. Then, of course, difficulty in controlling people and controlling operations, supervising, surveillance. Sometimes account as finance executives, finance manager, when you oversee the junior, you need to have a kind of layout area that you allow, that you are capable of supervising. It's about layout. Often, most of these layout issues are unseen or not noticeable, unrecognized. Although some issues are noticeable, they are considered as non-layout issues, something else, not layout issues. But you see, they are really layout issues that needs to be overcome, that needs to be addressed. Understand it? So that is the point we want to make here. If we can improve those four sides and then overcome them, operations activities would become more efficient, more satisfied, and more rewarding. That's about. What we understood, what is a layout and what is layout plan, why it is important. In addition to that, we identified that there are main layout types. 4 basic types and then other additional layout. Let's meet next week to discuss more about process layouts and the product layout, their design techniques and all.